Have you ever thought of math as a language? It's true. Just like English or Spanish, math has its own special way of communicating ideas. But instead of words, math uses symbols, numbers, and equations. This might seem a little strange at first, but once you get the hang of it, you'll see how cool and powerful math language can be. Think of it like this. Math is a universal language. No matter where you go in the world, people understand the language of mathematics. It helps us describe the world around us in a clear and concise way. Whether we're measuring ingredients for a recipe, building a skyscraper, or exploring the mysteries of the universe, math is the language that makes it all possible. Math language is super precise. Every symbol and equation has a specific meaning. This leaves no room for confusion or misinterpretation. Think of it like baking a cake. If you don't follow the recipe precisely, your cake might not turn out right. Math is also concise. It can express complex ideas in a few symbols or equations. Imagine trying to explain how to build a rocket using only words. It would take forever. But with math, we can use equations to describe the physics of rocket propulsion in a much shorter and more efficient way. This precision and conciseness give math its power. With math, we can solve problems, make predictions, and understand the world around us in a deeper way. It's like having a superpower that lets you unlock the secrets of the universe. Just like any language, math has its own grammar and syntax. Math sentences are made up of different parts that work together to convey meaning. These parts include numbers, operation symbols, and relation symbols. Numbers are the building blocks of math. They represent quantities and values. Operation symbols like plus, minus, multiply, and divide tell us what to do with those numbers. They represent actions like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Relation symbols such as equals, less than, and greater than show how numbers compare to each other. They indicate relationships like equality, less than, and greater than. By combining these elements in different ways, we can create an endless variety of mathematical expressions and sentences. Let's take a closer look at a simple math sentence. 3 plus 2 equals 5. This basic equation is something we often encounter in our daily lives, whether we realize it or not. In this sentence, 3 and 2 are our numbers. These numbers are the building blocks of our equation, representing specific quantities. They represent the quantities we're working with. For instance, if you have 3 apples and you get 2 more, you can use this math sentence to find out how many apples you have in total. The plus sign plus is our operation symbol. It tells us what to do with the numbers, which in this case is to add them together. It tells us to add the 2 numbers together. This operation combines the quantities, giving us a new total. The equal sign equals is our relation symbol. It shows the relationship between the 2 sides of the equation. It indicates that the expression on the left side, 3 plus 2, is equal to the expression on the right side, 5. This means that when you add 3 and 2, you get 5. You can think of this math sentence like a sentence in English. Just as words form a meaningful sentence, numbers and symbols form a meaningful math sentence. 3 and 2 are like the nouns representing the things we're talking about. They are the subjects of our math sentence. The plus sign plus is like the verb, telling us what action to perform. It instructs us to combine the quantities. And the equals sign equals is like the linking verb, connecting the subject, 3 plus 2, to the predicate, 5. It shows that the 2 sides of the equation are balanced and equal. Understanding mathematical language is super important for success in math. Just like you need to understand the rules of grammar and syntax to write a good essay, you need to understand the rules of math language to solve math problems effectively. When you can read and understand mathematical expressions and sentences, you can unlock the meaning behind them and use that knowledge to find solutions. Think of it like reading a map. If you don't understand the symbols and language used on the map, you'll have a hard time finding your way around. But once you learn how to read the map, you can navigate new territory with confidence. In math, we often encounter 2 types of statements, expressions and sentences. These are fundamental building blocks in the language of mathematics. Understanding the difference between them is key to interpreting and solving mathematical problems. This distinction helps us navigate through complex equations and simplifies our approach to problem solving. A mathematical expression is like a phrase in English. It is a combination of numbers, variables, and operation symbols that together represent a value. It combines numbers, variables, and operation symbols to represent a value. These expressions can be as simple as a single number or as complex as a polynomial. For example, 3 plus 2 is an expression. It tells us to add 3 and 2, but it doesn't make a complete statement. It tells us to add 3 and 2, but it doesn't make a complete statement. It leaves us hanging, waiting for more information to form a complete thought. A mathematical sentence, on the other hand, is like a complete sentence in English. It expresses a complete thought and includes a relation symbol such as equals, less than, or greater than. It expresses a complete thought and includes a relation symbol such as equals, less than, or greater than. This relation symbol connects two expressions, giving us a full statement that can be true or false. For instance, 3 plus 2 equals 5 is a mathematical sentence. It states that the expression on the left side, 3 plus 2, is equal to the expression on the right side, 5. It states that the expression on the left side, 3 plus 2, is equal to the expression on the right side, 5. This equality gives us a complete and interpretable statement. Recognizing whether a mathematical statement is an expression or a sentence helps us determine what we can do with it and how to interpret its meaning. This understanding is crucial for solving equations, proving theorems, and communicating mathematical ideas effectively. Math symbols are like shorthand for mathematical operations and relationships. They allow us to express complex ideas in a concise and efficient way. Here are a few common math symbols and their meanings. Plus sign indicates addition. Minus sign indicates subtraction. Multiplication sign indicates multiplication. Division sign indicates division. Equals sign indicates equality. Less than sign indicates that the value on the left is less than the value on the right. Greater than sign indicates that the value on the left is greater than the value on the right. These are just a few examples of the many symbols used in mathematics. As you progress in your math journey, you'll encounter many more symbols, each with its own unique meaning. Learning these symbols is like learning the alphabet of math language. One of the most important skills in math is the ability to translate word problems into mathematical equations. This skill is not only crucial for academic success but also for solving real-life problems that require logical thinking and quantitative analysis. This process involves reading a problem carefully, identifying the key information, and then representing that information using mathematical symbols and operations. It requires a keen eye for detail and the ability to break down complex scenarios into manageable parts. For example, consider the following word problem. If you have 5 apples and your friend gives you 3 more apples, how many apples do you have in total? This simple scenario can be a great starting point for understanding the translation process. To translate this problem into a mathematical equation, we can follow these steps. First, identify the unknowns. The unknown is what we are trying to find out, which in this case is the total number of apples. The unknown in this problem is the total number of apples you have at the end. This is what we need to solve for, and we can represent it with a variable. Let's represent this unknown with the variable t. Next, identify the knowns. The knowns are the pieces of information given in the problem that we can use to find the unknown. The knowns are the number of apples you started with, which is 5, and the number of apples your friend gave you, which is 3. These are the values we will use in our equation. The word more suggests that we need to add the number of apples you started with to the number of apples your friend gave you. This indicates that the operation we need to use is addition. Putting it all together, we get the equation 5 plus 3 equals t. This equation represents the total number of apples you have after your friend gives you more. By translating word problems into mathematical equations, we can transform real-world problems into solvable mathematical models. This skill is invaluable not just in mathematics, but in everyday life, where we constantly encounter situations that require logical reasoning and problem solving. Whether it's budgeting your expenses, planning a trip, or even cooking a recipe, the ability to translate problems into mathematical terms can make complex tasks more manageable. It empowers us to make informed decisions and find solutions efficiently. So the next time you face a word problem, remember these steps. Identify the unknowns, determine the knowns, choose the appropriate operation, and write the equation. With practice, this process will become second nature, and you'll be able to tackle any problem with confidence. Diagrams and visual aids can be incredibly helpful in understanding mathematical concepts and solving problems. They provide a way to represent mathematical ideas spatially, making them easier to grasp and manipulate. For example, when learning about fractions, a pie chart can be used to visualize how a whole is divided into equal parts. Similarly, A number line can be used to represent the relative positions of numbers and to illustrate operations like addition and subtraction. Diagrams can also be helpful in solving word problems. By drawing a picture or diagram of the problem situation, we can often gain a clearer understanding of the relationships between different quantities and develop a strategy for finding the solution. Mastering mathematical language and symbols is essential for unlocking the power and beauty of mathematics. When you understand the language of math, you can communicate mathematical ideas effectively, solve problems with confidence, and appreciate the elegance and precision of this universal language. Remember, learning any new language takes time and practice. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, ask questions, and seek help when you need it. With dedication and perseverance, you can become fluent in the language of math and unlock a world of possibilities.